what are some other ways you think NI can manifest in its unhealthy form? Or yeah, what are some of the cons of having NI too strong?
And having NI too strong, from my understanding, is really idealistic, especially when you've got your like INFJs, because they have that FE, very based on like ideals, which can kind of be like romantic, and they can be quite like romantic with a capital R, and be like kind of focused on that ideal that they're chasing, without maybe being aware of like the practical current situations that could get in the way of that, or the obstacles they have to overcome, or the feelings or implications or actions of the people around them that are indicating that that reality might not be an ideal and might not be a possible reality. Or, you know, INTJs, I think, have a tendency to be like maybe one of the most nihilistic types, you know, like doing that really deep dive into what is even the point in the present, when like no matter how deep I dive, I can't find meaning to make sense of anything of this, you know. So I think generally speaking, high NI, really just future focused. I hope you realize I'm generally speaking with all.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and it's true too. Like I can attest.
Yeah. So yeah, I think with that high NI, really like being super, super ideals focused, future focused, to the point where like they don't do anything in the present, or like make anything happen in the present, which as a top SE, I'm like, what?
Let's take action already. So just action oriented. Yeah.
Yeah, I've spoken to a few NI users about like people who are in my life who use high NI. So they will often sort of be like, think of all these things that, like, this trajectory you could take your YouTube channel, or this trajectory you could take, you know, your relationships, or, you know, where you could be in 5 years. And it's just like, to me, I really want to validate those ideas that they have. At the same time, I'm like, there's nothing real about those ideas to me. I'm like, do you understand how impossible that is for me to do with the current resources that I have, or with my current time or lack of time? Like, that's great that you have those ideas for me, but like, they're not real to me.
I've gotten that kind of feedback many times, like in some form or another. And it's funny because it's like, deep down, I know that when I come up with these really like specific futuristic ideas, like like way far into the future, and I like deep down, I'll know that it's going to be near impossible to accomplish them, but I'll still like plan for them anyway, because, you know, NI on steroids, just autopilot. But like, and then it comes to the point where like, yeah, I know I can't be able to do that, but this is why I'm going to plan to do this. And like the plans keep piling and piling and piling and piling, but I'm not doing anything to address those plans. So it's like hypothetical piling and piling and piling of plans that just,
It's really hard. It's really hard for me to understand how to react to top NI users when they are talking to me about those ideas, because they could be talking about this cool idea that they have, and I want to tell them how to actualize it today, but then they kind of don't respond well to that sometimes, or like, oh no, like, it's like, don't try and tell me how to do it, I've got it. And I'm like, oh, but like, there's these things you haven't considered. So it's like, okay, I got to be quiet and not say any of those things, but like, do I just sit there and listen? Like, what do they want from me in those moments? Because their ideas are really cool, and it's like, okay, that's a cool idea, and I'm just like, how are you going to make it happen? Let's talk about it. But yeah,
for me, it's been like, I've actually come to appreciate when people actually tell me, like, you know, ask me those questions, like, what are you actually going to do to accomplish that? Or give me just random, even if it's unsolicited advice on like, okay, but like, if that happens, like, you should do blah, 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 or something. So I think, but like, you know, if the person doesn't seem like they're open to any advice on how to carry out those plans, like they seem like they got it all together and they just want to focus it on their own, I guess, just basically just listen. And then if they ask for any advice, or like, what are your thoughts on this thing? Or whatever, like maybe say a little bit about what you think might be, in general, like keep it very general though when you give like give any advice. So don't be too specific because then that'll be like, I don't know. Sensory specific is kind of what throws the NI a little bit off sometimes. And then,
and the same way, isn't it? It's fascinating because that speaks to bottom NI as well. And I think for any top NI user who's talking to like an ESP, so about anything to do with their life that's like more than like 6 months in the future, it literally we just shut down and it overwhelms us. And we're like, don't talk to me. That's so not even like I could be anywhere in 6 months. You don't. I've had people come to me and be like, oh, this is where you can, here's this end goal idea that I have. Here's the end goal, and I'm like, okay, go on. And they're like, yeah, you could end up here. And I'm like, great. But like,
how? Like what? Like, what are you gonna do to get there?
And it's literally the bottom NI, like it literally overwhelms me when I'm in those situations. And I'm like, do you understand how not real that concept is to me? It's so I think, that top NI talking to a bottom NI and like vice versa with SE, that would be a constant miscommunication between those types.
I think what helps is when both sides are open to enhancing their mindset to whatever it is that they're focused on. So like, for example, with the NI user wanting to talk about their future, they can gain some insight from the SE who's telling them, okay, this is how you can actually make that future become a reality, like the actual SE steps you have to take. And then vice versa, like if the SE just wants to talk about, hey, things going on, there's this going on, there's this going on, and the NI doesn't, most of the time the NI people like we don't care about what's going on right now, like we just want to think about the next thing. But like if you're in that open-minded state where it's like, okay, like this is what this person is offering, I can see the implications of these events, all the things that are going on right now. Hey, here's my take on those implications, and you can use that to your advantage however you SE feel like, I guess. So that is like it's a matter of like having open-mindedness to see how one side can actually enhance your mindset.
Absolutely. You've just touched on the absolute sweet spot with SE NI communication is I'm telling you, like as an SE, from a perspective of an SE, like I'm telling you this thing that's going on in my life, these behaviors that I have, these behaviors that this other person has. And then like the NI user gives me insight into why those things are happening, or the deeper meaning behind those things, or why that person might be responding that way. Exactly. Then I'm like all ears. I'm like, this is really valuable information to me. I like to understand my friends. I like to understand myself. I don't want bad things to happen to me. So all my relationships, so like help me understand the implications here. And because it's now, right? It's happening now. So we love that.